Hello again, it's Viking One, and I'm still in Youngstown, Ohio, and I'm standing in the area where Republic Steel had a big steel mill, blast furnaces, and I'm going to show you around. There's a lot of blight here, and the actual steel mill part where the blast furnaces were was tore down. But I'm going to flip my camera around. That's Center Street Bridge, and in this area, and in the area on the other side of the bridge is where the blast furnaces were. And as I pan to my right, there's part of the other buildings of Republic Steel. Now, my dad grew up in this neighborhood. My grandfather lived in this neighborhood. And this is the neighborhood where I grew up in. If I'm on that Center Street Bridge and walk out of the valley 2-3 blocks, I'm in the house where I grew up in. But I'm going to show you around this abandoned steel mill site. This used to be Republic Steel. Okay, I made it in one of these abandoned buildings. Once again, this was Republic Steel. And I'm just going to show you around. I don't want to stay in there too long. I'm not here. I'm just here to film a video. You can see one of the cranes on top. There's a steel girder where the crane would roll its wheels on. And I don't know if this is where they had the coils, the mills, but this was part of Republic Steel. Some of the heavy machinery here, and just look at the size of the steel girders of this building. This might have been where my grandfather worked. I don't know exactly where he worked, but he worked at Republic Steel. The old timers used to want a house close to the steel mill. They would walk to work, and that's why the house I grew up in is very close to the steel mills. And the houses that my father grew up in and uncles, they were very close to this very area. So yes, we're in an old steel mill area in Youngstown, Ohio. You're in the Rust Belt, and this is why they call it the Rust Belt. And just look at this. There's one of the overhead steel cranes. My Uncle John was a crane operator in the mills. Once again, they would ride along those girders down to that side. I never worked in a steel mill, so I couldn't tell you. And this is part of the lifting apparatus right here. 10-ton capacity. There's the hook. Just unbelievable. That goes all the way up to the top there. You can see the big heavy wheels. Let me zoom in. There's the wheels that the crane would roll on right there. And they would roll down on the other side, down that way. Let me do one last pan in this area. 220 volt AC electrical jack, main switch. Okay, here's still yet another part of Republic Steel. And there's cameras on the outside of these buildings, so I don't want to get too close. Yeah, it's abandoned, inoperable. But they still got the shell, the corrugated shell of these buildings standing here in Youngstown, Ohio. Just to give you an idea how big these buildings are, I'll start on that end and just slowly pan all the way down to that end. There's cameras right up there, so I don't want to get in trouble here. There's some guys standing around, but I just had to get some of this on film. All right, it's Viking 1 at the old Republic Steel Mill site in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm on Poland Avenue right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day.